Hey, what's going on, family? This is Andy Henriquez, and of course, I want to welcome you to the Thursday night show for your life motivational live stream. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I've got a message for you tonight. Listen, tonight's message is specifically for those of you. You've got a dream, you got a vision. You're either trying to give birth to the dream or vision, or you're trying to make it come a reality. I have a message specifically for you. Like, I want to help you to get past those roadblocks. I want to help you to get this dream out of your head and make it come a reality. And I know exactly what you need to help you to get there. And so if you would just stick with me, make sure you grab a pen and a notepad. We're going to be getting started just momentarily. And of course, I want to welcome you to the Thursday night show for your life motivational live stream. This is where you come each and every week to get that midweek pick me up. And so I appreciate you joining us. I've got a message for you tonight, and I'm going to be sharing with you specifically the 3 stages to bringing your dream to fruition, the 3 stages to actually realizing your dream. So, hey, what's going on, family? This is Andy Henriquez, and of course, I want to welcome you to the Thursday night show for your life motivational live stream. I am so excited that you decided to join me tonight. I've got a special message for you tonight. Let me tell you who I'm looking for. I'm looking for the people who are dreamers, the ones with the big visions, the big dreams, that you know that there is a bigger and higher calling placed upon your life, and you're just trying to figure out how to make that thing become a reality. If that is you, I've got a message for you tonight. I've got something that I want to share with you that I believe is going to get you past just thinking about the idea, past the frustration, and actually making this dream, this vision, this thing that you want to make happen become an actual reality. And so if you would, as you're joining in, as you're tuning in, do me a quick favor, put in your city and your state so I can go ahead and give you a quick shout out before we get started on tonight's message. And so once again, this message tonight is specifically for those of you that have a dream that you want to fulfill, that you've got a vision that you want to fulfill. And I'm going to be sharing with you tonight specifically the 3 stages to fulfilling your dream. And I believe that if you can, number 1, recognize what stage you're in, and then actually equip yourself and get the tools and the things that you need, and to have the right mindset and know exactly what to do in each stage, it is going to significantly increase your chances of you realizing your goals and your dreams. And of course, I'm telling you right now, if you've got a big vision, you've got a big goal, you've got a big dream, you are in the right place. Like, this is where you want to be. So I'm gonna tell you right now, you want to make sure that you grab a pen, grab a notepad, because I'm going to unpackage some things for you that you have not quite heard explained this way. And I believe for you that a light bulb may go off for you that really helps you to start taking your dream and your vision to the next level. And so once again, this message is specifically for those of you. You've got a dream, you've got a vision that you're either working on, it is brewing on the inside of you, that you're in the process of, and you're trying to get to the finish line. You're trying to make this thing become a reality, and you've been frustrated at times. And I want to help you to get past that frustration and help you to get to the point where you go from just having the vision to it actually becoming a reality. So I'm going to be sharing with you specifically the 3 stages to fulfilling a dream and making that dream become an actual reality. So do me a quick favor as you're jumping on real quick. In the comment section, go ahead and put in your city and your state so I can go ahead and say hello to you and give you a quick shout out before we jump right on in. And I'm going to say this one more time. This message tonight is specifically for those of you. You've got a dream, you've got a vision, you've got something that you want to become a reality, and you've been working on it, and perhaps you've been frustrated, or maybe it is still sitting inside of your head and you haven't yet acted on it. And I want to equip you. I want to share with you what the 3 stages are to you fulfilling your dream so that you can recognize what stage you're in, and then make sure that you understand the pros and cons of each stage so that you can progress and get to that next stage and make your dream become a reality. So, hey, we got a couple people tuning in. Hey, Miss D, how you doing from San Francisco, California? Good to see you. For those of you, as you're tuning in, do me a quick favor. Go ahead and put in your put in your city and your state so I can go ahead and give you a quick shout out. Once again, hey, we've got Christine Wright tuning in from Indianapolis. Good to see you. Good to see you. I appreciate you guys for jumping in, put in your city and your state so I can give you a quick shout out. And then once again, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 stages to fulfilling your dream. And so as I look back and I think about my personal journey now, when I finally said yes to my goal, when I finally said yes to my vision, when I finally said yes to my dream, I tell you right now that was many years ago. That was back in December of 2004. And there's some things that have become very clear for me that I wish somebody would have explained to me. And I want to be able to explain these things to you so that you can recognize exactly where you are and what stages you are in the process of fulfilling your dream, in the process of fulfilling your vision, so that you can know, number one, what stage you're in, and so that you can know how to continue to progress and get to the next stage. And then most importantly, how to get to the place where you're actually realizing the dream, where you're living the dream, and that is actually come to fruition. Hey, how you doing? I see a couple people tuning in from Pennsylvania, also from New York, and also from Florida. I want to, of course, say hi to all of you. And I'm going to be diving in, and specifically, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 stages to fulfilling your dream. And so here's what I want you to understand. And this is very, very critical. It's important that you realize this is the very first stage for every single one of us. The first stage for us to fulfilling a dream, the very first stage is number 1, is that you've got to first give birth to your dream. You've got to give birth to your dream. And so you say, Andy, unpackage that. What does that mean? And so here's what it means. What I want you to realize is this. The majority of us, we come up with a great vision. We come up with a great idea. We come up with a wonderful intent. In other words, we come up with this dream, something that we have a desire to do, something that we haven't yet fulfilled, something that is bigger than what we're currently doing right now in our lives. And so we come up with this idea, this vision, this dream, this intent, whatever you want to call it, but it is a bigger vision for your life. It is something that perhaps you haven't done before. And let me help you to understand what happens to many of us in this very first stage. We never get the idea, we never get the dream, we never get the vision out of our head. And so what happens is oftentimes we kill the vision, we kill the dream, we kill this thing that we want to act on before it even makes it out of our head. And so I'm telling you right now that if you were to be able to look inside of people's brains, what you would see is a graveyard. And in that graveyard, what you would see is all the dreams, all the visions, all the thoughts, all the ideas that they had in their mind that they killed before they even acted on it. So they both attempted to give birth to it and also killed it. Like no one else did it. They did this thing in their mind. And so what I want you to understand is that the very first stage to you fulfilling your goal and fulfilling your dream is to get the dream out of your head and to actually give it birth. And so let me help you to understand what I mean by that. I can remember when I was working in corporate America, I was working as a CPA, I was working as an accountant, I was working with one of the big 4 public accounting firms. And so here I was working with this amazing firm with these extraordinary people, every reason to be happy and fulfilled because I had realized the thing that I thought initially was my dream and was my vision. And that was what it was pretty much told me, which was to get a good job, get a good education, and get a great job with benefits and a good salary. And I had that. But I tell you this, as I started working there for a couple of years, and as I was showing up to work on a daily basis, I started to have this new dream. I started to have this new vision, and I started to have these new ideas that were crossing my mind. And so I started to explore the possibilities. I said to myself, what if I were to take a chance on myself? What if I were to figure out what my gifts and my skills were? What if I became this entrepreneur? What if I became a speaker? What if I became a coach and a trainer? And so I started to have this urge and this desire, and maybe you can relate. Maybe there's something right now that is brewing in your mind that you've been saying, what if? Maybe perhaps you've been saying, what if I write the book? What if I start the business? What if I go back and I do a career change? What if I go and pursue this thing that I always wanted to do? What if I put my gifts and my skills to work and I see if I can make a full-time income doing it? And so all of us at one point or another, we're going to have this dream. We're going to have this vision. We're going to have this goal that begins to surface. And so that began to happen for me as I was working in corporate America. And so I want you to understand, I'm waking up every single day and I'm showing up to this career and I'm showing up to this corporate environment and I'm working with wonderful people and I have amazing clients, but this dream and this vision that I have is brewing inside of my mind, just like there's a dream and a vision that's brewing inside of your mind right now as I speak to you. And so what I want you to understand, here's what happens to many of us. as the dream begins to surface, as the idea begins to manifest, as the intent gets stronger and stronger, as we begin to think about this thing that we want to do, immediately after it comes up, we begin to start coming up with reasons and excuses, and fear begins to penetrate our minds, and we start coming up with reasons why this thing is not going to work for us. And so I don't know about you, but what I want you to realize is that this is what happened to me. And back in December of 2004, when I started contemplating this idea of leaving my corporate job and going after my goals and my dreams, I started saying to myself, well, Andy, but you spent all this time getting your undergraduate degree in accounting and your master's degree in corporate accounting, and then you spent all this time getting your CPA license. Like, how can you walk away from that? And then I said, but wait a second, Andy, you've been getting this paycheck every 2 weeks. It's hitting your bank account consistently. How are you going to replace your income? Then I start saying, Andy, well, what if things don't work out for you? Like, what if you fall flat on your face? What if you have to go through the embarrassment of having to come back and ask for your job back? Now, those were the things that were going on through my mind. I want you to start thinking about what has been going on through your mind. What are the things that as you think about this dream, this vision that you have, what are the things that you're doing that is beginning to start poking holes and start decreasing your vision and your dream and your goal? And what is the thoughts that if you continue to have them, they're going to suffocate your dream and suffocate your vision and cause your dream and your vision to basically pass away? And so what I want you to understand is this: the majority of people who have a big dream, they have a vision and they have a goal, they never get it out of their mind. In other words, they never actually take action and they never actually move on their dream. And so what I want you to understand is at some point, you've got to be willing to move on the dream. You've got to be willing to move on this thing that you want to make happen. I want you to do this for me real quick right now in the comment section. Put #move, #move. If you understand that a dream that's inside of your head means nothing until you take the time that you actually move and you take some significant action to start bringing this thing to fruition and birthing this idea. Now, what I want you to understand is oftentimes for you to give birth to this idea, you just need to take some type of a step. It doesn't even need to be a big step, but you just need to do something that takes the vision, that takes the dream out of your head and puts you in motion where you begin to act on it. And so whatever that thing is, if perhaps for you it's writing the book, I'm talking about the process of where you actually start pulling out a piece of paper and a pen and you actually start writing. You come up with what the title of the book is. You start writing some stories down. You start outlining the book. I'm talking about the things that you have to do that's going to start putting you in motion. If it's a business that you want to start, I'm talking about you start thinking about what's the business. What are the people you need to hire? What are going to be your products and your services? What are you going to do? And then actually acting out and moving forward on those things and taking action, whatever that action is, no matter how big or how small it is. I need you to move. I need you to act. I need you to do something. And what I want you to understand is the act of moving, the act of doing something is what allows you to begin to give birth to your dream. Just simply having a thought, just simply having the vision inside of your brain, inside of your mind is not suffice. That is a wonderful start, but that is not enough to bring it to fruition. I need you to understand this, that number one step is that you've got to give birth to the dream. And the way that you give birth to the dream is to actually move forward. So I want you to think about right now, what is the thing that you have in your mind that you've been wanting to act on, and what is a single step, one thing that you can do that's going to take it from your mind and bring it out into the world? What is the thing that you've got to do? Do you need to write it down on a piece of paper? Do you need to make a phone call? Do you need to set something up? Do you need to set up a meeting, set up an appointment? There's something that you need to do. There's an action step that you need to take that is going to take the dream and the vision that you have, take it out of your mind, and then actually move it forward so that you actually bring it forward. So that's the first step. And so I want you to recognize and start saying to yourself, well, where are you right now? And some of you might say, well, Andy, I've got it out of my mind. I'm past the first step. Well, I need you to understand, you need to recognize what stage you're in so you know what you need to do. So if you're in the first stage and it's just in your mind, The first step is you've got to act, you've got to move, you've got to take some type of radical action to get this thing that you envision for yourself out of your mind and get you to the place where you're actually moving forward on it. So that's one of the key stages and one of the most important stages to bring your dream to fruition. Now, that's just the first step. You got to get out of your mind. And so stop killing your dreams. Stop killing your ideas. Stop killing your thoughts in your brain. I did that. I remember when I wanted to move forward and I wanted to take action on my goals and my dreams, and I wanted to leave my corporate job as a CPA and go after my goals and a dream. For a year and a half, here's what I did. I came up with the idea. I killed the idea. I came up with the idea. I killed the idea. I'd come up with the idea. Come on, Andy. You can move forward. You can make things happen. You become this extraordinary entrepreneur. You can become this speaker, this coach, and this trainer. Then I'd kill the idea. Well, you know, you've worked so hard and you're working this job. And what if things don't work out? And who are you to think that you can make this thing happen? How are you going to replace your income? And so I was on this perpetual cycle. And what I want you to understand, and many of you are on this repeated cycle in which you give birth to the dream, you kill the dream. You give birth to the dream, you kill the dream. And the reason why is because you've never gotten it out of your head. And so I need you to get it out of your head. And one of the ways that you do that is you're going to take action and move on your goals and your dreams. Now, that's just stage one. Now, here's what stage two is. Here's what stage two is. Now, stage two, you have just started taking action on the dream. You just started moving forward on the dream. You just started making the phone calls. You just stepped up and started creating the business. You just started writing the book. You've just convinced yourself that you can leverage your gifts, your skills, and your talents to do something extraordinary. And here's what I want you to understand is this. Now that you have started the process, I want you to understand that your dream is now in an infancy state. Your dream is now in an infancy state. What I'm about to break down is so very important. I need you to do me a favor right now. Make sure you hit the share button, because there's somebody that you're connected to that if they understood this one principle that I'm about to break down, they're going to go forward with their goals and their dreams, as opposed to basically throwing in the towel and being taken out of the game. So do me a favor right now, hit the share button, because somebody needs to hear this next stage. Listen carefully. Stage number two of when you begin to act and move forward on your dream. Stage number two is this. Listen very carefully. Your dream is now in the infancy state. And your responsibility when your dream is in the infancy state is to protect your dream. I'm going to say that again. When you finally get the dream out of your head and you begin to move forward on the dream is now in the infancy state, and your responsibility now is to protect the dream. And so if you're writing the book, you've got to protect the book. If you're starting a business, you've got to protect the business. If you are starting to just try to move forward and start something new in your career, you've got to protect this new dream. Let me help you to understand why. When your dream is in its infancy state, it is not strong enough to protect itself. And it is very, very vulnerable. And so what it means is if you are basically subjected to criticism, if you're subjected to difficulty, if you're subjected to some setbacks and some challenges, there's a very strong possibility that you may throw in the towel on your dream and on your vision. Understand that very carefully. And so in that second stage of pushing your dream forward and make it come to fruition, you've got to be willing to protect the dream. And so let me help you to get a visual on what that means. My daughter right now is 2 years old. And I remember when we first had my daughter, and she was this tiny little teeny infant, and we decided to take our daughter out. Here's what we would do. We would take our daughter, take her out of the car seat, and we would put her into the stroller. Now, listen carefully. When we put her into the stroller, we would put a net over the entire stroller. And when we would take her around our friends, when we would take her around our family, when we would even take her to church, we would put the net over the stroller. Now, here's what I want you to understand. The net, when we bought the net, the real reason that we bought the net was to be able to protect the baby from like sort of flies and gnats and so forth when you're outside. But that's not what we began to use it for. You see, we would put the net over the baby because we understood that we would be getting around a lot of people. Sometimes we were getting a lot of family, a lot of friends, and our newborn baby was just so young, we didn't want to subject her to all these people touching her and spreading their germs on her. So we would put the net over her stroller to protect her. And the reason why we did that is because we understood that her immune system was not strong enough to be able to push off all the germs and all the things that she would be subjected to. And so what we were doing is we were making sure that we were protecting our baby. Here's what I want you to understand. Your dream, your vision is your baby, and you have the same responsibility. You've got to put a net over your dream. You've got to put a net over the baby so that you can protect it from the naysayers, so that you can protect it from the struggles and the difficulties that come up in the journey, so that you can protect it even from yourself, because there will be times that you yourself will try to take your dream out of it, that you yourself would try to talk you out of taking the next step, that you yourself would try to talk yourself out of the dream, out of the vision, and out of the goal. And what I want you to understand is this, is that when you're first working on the dream, it is just an infant. It is in its infancy stage, and you need to be a helicopter parent. You need to be protective, and you need to be willing to fight and protect that dream. Let me tell you right now, I don't care who you are. I don't care how sweet you are, how pleasant you are, how non-aggressive you are. Let me tell you something right now. If you have a baby, for those of you who are parents, for those of you who are not parents, I want you to think about something that you really, really love. When you have a child, when you have a baby, no matter how sweet, how pleasant you are, if somebody messes with that baby, a whole nother side of you comes out. If somebody even looks like they want to mess around and threaten that baby, put harm to that baby, an entire different side of you comes out. You can find the most tiny, most petite, most sweetest mom on the planet. You mess around and go and mess with one of her children, you will see Mama Bear come out. You will see a side of that woman that you have never, ever seen in your life. It is a protective instinct, and we naturally protect things that we love. And what I want you to understand is when you first give birth to your dream, you've got to be willing to protect the dream. You've got to be willing to fight for the dream. You've got to put a protective layer over it and keep it away from the negative people. Keep it away from the naysayers. You don't need to share every aspect of your dream with everyone in that stage, because in that stage, your baby, your dream is very vulnerable. It can be taken out if you don't protect it and certify it and make sure that it is fully covered. You hear me? Somebody could say the wrong thing. You can encounter a series of setbacks, and you yourself would convince yourself that maybe I shouldn't write the book. Maybe I shouldn't start the business. Maybe I shouldn't continue to level up. Maybe I shouldn't try to move forward on my goals and my dreams and my vision. And what I want you to understand, in that stage 2, I need you to be in full protection mode. Do me a favor right now. I'm going to be sharing something else. I want you to hit the share button, but do me a favor right now. In the comment section, put #protect, 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 because I need you to get this. When you are building a vision, when you are building a dream, you must be willing to protect the dream. You must be willing to protect the vision, because it will go under attack. It will be attacked externally due to circumstances, due to naysayers, due to haters, whatever you want to call them. It will be protected externally. But here's what I also want you to know. It will also be attacked internally. You yourself will begin to attack your own dream. You yourself will begin to attack your own vision, because of the fact that maybe perhaps things aren't moving along as fast as they were. Maybe it's because you're projecting your insecurities. Maybe perhaps because you begin to replay some of the things that have happened to you in the past. And what I want you to understand is that in that stage, in stage 2, you've got to be in full protection mode. So do me a favor right now. If you're willing to protect your dream, if you're willing to protect your vision, do me a favor right now. In the comment section, put #protect. #protect. You've got to be willing, just like that mama bear, just like when you are messing with that woman's child in the playground and how she's going to come out of the corner and you go see a whole nother side of her. You got to be willing to protect the dream and protect the vision under all circumstances. Otherwise, people around you circumstances will try to poke a hole and literally try to take your dream out. Now, here's what I want you to understand, that some of the people who are going to actually attack your dream and attack your vision are not necessarily people who have a disdain for you. They're not haters. Some of those people are going to be people that are very close to you. And the reason why they're attacking your goal and your dream and your vision is because they think they're protecting you. They're attempting to protect you from failure. They want to protect you from things happening. And so they start trying to talk you out of your dream and talk you out of your vision. And they start saying, well, do you really got to do that? Do you really have to start the business? Do you really have to build a 7-figure business? I mean, do you really have to write the book? I mean, it's okay, right? And the thing is, it's not because they have any malice towards you. It's because they don't want you to get hurt, and they believe that they're protecting you. But what they don't realize is that in the process of them trying to protect you, what they're really doing is talking you out of your vision and out of your dream. And so in its infancy state, at the beginning part, and oftentimes your business, your dream is in the infancy state within the first couple of years of you working on it. I mean, you're just now trying to get yourself to fully believe that it's possible. And so in those first couple of years, you've got to be willing to protect it at all causes, and you've got to be willing to protect it with everything that you have. And so if you are willing to protect your dream, if you're willing to protect the vision that you have, do me a favor right now, in the comment section, put #protect, #protect, because I need this to be ingrained into your mind that you need to protect the vision, that you've got to protect the dream at all costs. You've got to be willing to protect it. Just like when my wife and I, we first had our daughter, Ava. Let me tell you right now, we still protect her now, but at the very beginning in that infancy state, we were very protective because we understood that she could not defend herself. And so I want you to understand, your dream and your vision in its infancy state is not strong enough to protect itself. It will get there, but it is not strong enough at that particular moment to be able to protect itself. And so at that moment, you've got to be the one to step up, and you've got to be the one to protect it. Now, how do you protect it? Just so you're very clear on that. Part of the way that you protect it is you make sure that certain people that are negative, that are toxic, that you don't have extended conversations. You don't have conversations with them around your dream and your vision. You don't start talking about your dream and your vision until you know that your dream and your vision has gotten strong and it's fortified and it can deal with the naysayers and with the criticism. Do you hear me on that? There are certain people that you don't go around in the infancy state. And what I also want you to understand is that when you're in that state, you got to make sure that you're always building your mental state up, because it is very, very easy to start talking yourself out of your dream, talking yourself out of your vision, talking yourself out of the things that you want to do. So in that stage, once again, what you have to be willing to do is you've got to protect the dream. And so one more time, do me a quick favor. Go ahead. Yes, Christine, put protect. Yes, Miss D, put protect. In the comment section, put #protect, #protect, because it's one of those things that's essential. Listen, the dream cannot continue to build. It cannot continue to grow if you subject it to the attacks that it's going to face in the infancy state and it begins to become weak. And so what I want you to understand, it is your responsibility, it is your duty that once you give birth to the dream, that the second stage is you've got to be willing to protect the dream. Now, here's the third stage. This is the third stage, because what I want you to understand is after a while, that dream is going to go from being an infant, and that dream now is going to start to mature. And now this dream is gotten to a place where it is proven. You are 100% sold out on the dream. You are taking action on a daily basis to bring this dream to fruition, to get it to the next level. You are fully engaged. You are working on this dream and this vision on a daily basis. What I want you to understand is this is the third stage, and this is most importantly your responsibility in the third stage. Once your dream has matured, once your dream has proven itself, once you are actively working on the dream, once you are pushing forward, once you are making this thing happen, once your belief system has increased and you are making this thing happen, this is what your responsibility is. Listen carefully. You have got to get out of the way of your dream and your vision. You say, Andy, why is that? Because what we begin to do is the moment we begin to build a dream and we begin to have some momentum, here's what we do. We begin to start these self-sabotaging characteristics. Let me help you to understand this. You went from having the dream and the vision of writing the book, and now you actually start writing the book and you've got the majority of the book written. And so you should release the book and put it out there. And now you start to self-sabotage yourself because you keep saying to yourself, I don't know if it's ready. I don't know if it's done. And then you keep getting the book proofread and you keep editing it. And now it took you 3 months to write the book. And now you're sitting on the book for an additional 2 years trying to build up the confidence to release the book. And so what's happening is you have gotten in your own way, right? When you should actually be releasing it. You have the momentum and let the momentum keep going. You should be releasing the book. But what is happening is you want it to be perfect. And so because you want it to be perfect, you're not releasing the book. Listen, I know exactly what it is when people do that because I did that myself. I knocked out my book in 4 months and then I sat on it for a year, getting it proofread over and over and over again and getting it edited over and over and over again. Why? Because I wanted it to be perfect. Let me let you in on a little news flash. There's no such thing as it being perfect. The reason why we want things to be perfect is because that perfection is rooted in fear. The reason why we want things to be perfect is because it really has everything to do with our insecurities. We're afraid of what people are going to think. We're afraid of what people are going to say. We're afraid of the criticism. And what I say to you is, who cares what people think? What I want you to understand is what Sheryl Sandberg said, done is better than perfect. Write that down. Done is better than perfect. Write that down. Done is better than perfect. You've got to get out of the way. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. You start getting some progress. You start moving forward. You got the business going. You're starting to have some success. And then now that you're having success, you stop doing the things you were doing to help you to have success. And so you were making phone calls consistently, and now you stop making phone calls. You were constantly getting out there, meeting new people and generating leads. And now you stop getting out there, meeting new people and generating leads. You were constantly pushing through and following through on everything that you said. And now you stop following through. Why do we do that? The reason why we do that is because we have these patterns of trying to keep ourselves at a certain level, and we begin to self-sabotage ourselves. And what I want you to understand is in your third stage of trying to bring your vision, your dream, your goal, and everything that you want to an entirely different level, you've got to be willing to get out of the way. Get out of your mind. Stop the stinking thinking. Stop trying to talk yourself out of what got you there. Listen, you know what got you there. The focus got you there. You know the discipline got you there. The consistency got you there. You've had little glimpses of it when you were having success. Why in the world have you stopped doing the things that you were doing to get you to where you are right now? I need you to get this. Hit the share button right now, because if anybody just hears this part of the message, they got it. I'm telling you right now that there's 3 stages. Listen carefully, because I'm going to break this thing down for you. There are 3 stages to fulfilling any kind of dream, any kind of vision, anything that you want. There are 3 stages to fulfilling the dream. Number 1, you've got to give birth to the dream. You've got to get the dream out of your head. Most of us are dream killers. We are dream killers. I can't even tell you how many dreams of mine that I killed in my mind before I even pushed forward with it. Most of us do it. We come up with a dream, we come up with a vision, we come up with a goal, we come up with something that we want to do. And before we take action, before we do anything with it, we kill it. We say, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I have the resources. Who am I to think that I do it? What about that time that I failed in the past? What about when the thing didn't work out? Well, what are they going to say? What are they going to think? Stop doing that. Get it out of your mind and just take one step, one action, and just move. Hashtag action. Do that for me real quick. Hashtag action. You need to just take one step and just move. Take some type of a step. Take some type of action and just simply move on the dream. Move on the vision. Do me a favor. Put hashtag action. If you could just take some type of action. Hashtag action. Just take some type of action. It gets the vision, it gets the dream out of your head, and now you have made it out of the first stage, which is just giving birth to your dream. Then Now that you've actually taken that first step, you've given birth to the dream, you've gotten it out of your head, you've made something happen. The second part is, I want you to understand the dream is just the baby. When you have the baby, you got to protect it. You can't just hand your baby off to everybody. You can't just let everybody talk over your baby. You can't just let everybody handle your baby. You can't let everybody touch your baby because it's just the baby. It's fragile. The immune system's not built up. It needs to get stronger. And so what I want you to understand is a lot of times what happens is you got this dream, you got this vision, you got it out of your head, but you forgot that it's in its infancy state. And so you went and shared it with the wrong person, and that person talked you out of your goal and your dream. Or you forgot it was in its infancy state and you weren't doing things to make sure that you were fortifying your mind. And so life came around the corner and boom, punched you in the face. And then now you went ahead and threw in the towel on your goal and your dream. And what I want you to understand is this, is that when that dream finally comes to birth, you've got to be willing to protect the dream. Yes, Miss D. Yes, Kim. You got to protect the dream. You've got to be willing to protect it fully. Just like that mama bear protects that little cub, just like a mother protects their child in the playground, you've got to be willing to protect the dream because it is in its infancy state. It is fragile, it is vulnerable, and it must be protected. By all means necessary, you must protect the dream. Do me a favor right now, in the comment section, put hashtag protect, hashtag protect, hashtag protect. You've got to protect the dream. Now, you've gotten the dream out of your head. You've given birth to the dream. Now you understand the baby, it's this baby now, but you've been protecting it for the past couple of years. And now the dream is starting to mature. You're starting to build momentum. You're getting further along with writing the book. You're actually been in business. You're producing a profit in your business. You have now bought into the fact that you can leverage your gifts, your skills, and your talents, and you have found a way to actually generate money with your gifts and your skills and your talents. Now, here's what the third stage is. You've got to move. You hear me? You've got to get out the way. Get out the way. Y'all remember that song, Move? Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, right? You've got to get out of the way. Now you say, Andy, why is that? Let me tell you why. Because without realizing, we develop these patterns of self-sabotaging ourselves. I want you to get that. We develop these patterns of self-sabotaging ourselves, meaning that we have a dream, we have a vision, we get it out there, and then we find ways to begin to kill the vision and kill the dream off. Even though we started to have some momentum, we find ways to break the momentum. What does that look like? The way it looks like is now all of a sudden you stop doing the things that you did before that got you to where you were at. So you were making the sales calls. You were following through. You were being consistent. You were having the discipline. You were working out on a consistent basis. You were waking up earlier. Whatever it is, you were writing down your vision, you were writing down your goals, whatever it is you were doing that was producing the results for you, you stop doing those things. And when you stop doing those things, you start to take the life away from your goal and your dream and your vision. And so it is your responsibility to get out the way. Do you hear me? You must get out of the way and stop self-sabotaging it. And let me tell you how else this shows up. I'll give you an example. This is for the person who maybe has a business. They have a business and they have an awesome month in their business. Maybe in 1 month, they did really, really great in that 1 month in their business, and they produce more income than they normally have in a month. And so as opposed to riding off of that momentum and saying, wow, I just had an awesome killer month, as opposed to putting their foot fully on the throttle, pushing harder, making more phone calls, increasing their level of energy, doing the things that got them there, what they begin to do rather is take their foot off of the acceleration. What they begin to do is stop making the phone calls. What that they begin to do is stop doing the things that got them there. And this is one of the things that we do so often. I know I've done it before, and I know that you have certainly done it. It is a pattern of self-sabotage. And so you've got to remember, whatever got you there, you must continue to do those same things that got you there. And you must keep your foot on the acceleration, and you cannot let the momentum die. It takes a lot of energy to get the train moving forward. But once that train is moving forward, it can bust through a brick wall. The same thing applies to your goals and your dreams. And so the worst thing you want to do is to have the train moving, to be moving forward on the book, moving forward on the vision, moving forward on the relationship, moving forward on the things that you want to make happen. And then just as you have all the momentum, you then take your foot off the acceleration and then you begin to self-sabotage yourself. This happens over and over and over again, and you've got to break the pattern. And so what I want you to understand is once you've got the dream out of your head, once you've got it past the infancy state, I need you to move out of the way. You've got to get out of the way of the vision, of the dream, and the goal. And part of the way that you get out of the way is to stop tapping into those self-sabotaging patterns, to continue to build and fortify your mind and do the things consistently that produce the results and allowed you to get there in the first place, and continue to do those things so that you can ride the momentum. If you do that, everything changes for you. Everything changes. And so do me a favor right now. Go ahead and hit the share button. Hit the share button if you're getting some value from this message. And what I want to share with all of you is really just a really quick resource. I'm going to go ahead and type this in for you right now so that you can make sure that you do this if you haven't already done this before. But what you're going to do is you're going to text the word show up to 954-278-3701. And when you do that, I'm going to be basically sending you a really quick video training. In that video training, I share with you how you can leverage your personal stories so that you can connect with your ideal customer, your clients, so that you can connect with your audience, so that you can overcome some of the objections that they may have and get people to take action. As many of you know, I'm a business storytelling coach and keynote speaker. I help organizations as well as individuals to be able to develop powerful stories that both connect and convert. And if you want to get a copy of one of my free trainings, it's a video training. If you haven't already done so, and you'll know whether you've done this before or not, if you haven't already done so, all you're going to do is you're going to text the word show up, all one word. Do not put a space in between the word showing up. Text the word show up to 954-278-3701. Once again, you're going to text the word show up to 954-278-3701. And when you do that, you're going to follow the cues. You're going to be instructed to do a couple more things. You're going to put in your email address, put in your name, just follow the prompts, and then you're going to get a text with access to the training, and you're also going to get an email. That's my gift to you. Now, here's what I want you to understand. This is what I wish someone would have broke down for me. Because if you were to just understand this, if you were to just know what stage you're in, you'll be able to bring this gift, this thing that you have, this dream that you have, this vision that you have to fruition. If you could identify the stages that you're in and know what your responsibility is in that stage. So first stage, I'm going to tell you the stage and tell you the responsibility. Stage one is you got to give birth to the dream. So what's your responsibility? It means that you take the dream out of your brain and take action and do something to move forward on the dream. By acting on the dream, that is how you give birth to the dream, by taking a step. The person who says, I want to write the book, and so you grab a piece of paper and you start writing. You pull out your laptop and you start typing, right? The person who says, I want to start the business, you do the first step to actually start the business, right? The person who says, I want to level up, then maybe you invest the money to get in the coaching program. Whatever it is that you want to do, you take that first step. You got to give birth to it. Then the second part is, now the dream, you just given birth to it, but it's a baby. You got to protect it. So it's your responsibility. Be careful who you share it with. Be careful who you bring your dream around. Be careful what you allow to come into your mind. Be careful what environments you put yourself in, because you've got to protect it. And so you've got to protect this thing for a couple of years, because it's going to be a baby for a couple of years. And then it will begin to mature. It will begin to grow. It will begin to become strong. You won't have to protect it as much because it can protect itself. It would have produced its own results and bared its own fruit. And now that you're at that stage, the third step is this. You've got to get out of the way. You've got to break the self-sabotaging habits. You've got to stop doing the things that immediately take all the momentum out of the dream and the vision that you've created. And so that means being very mindful of the thoughts that are going on through your mind and the actions that you're taking that is killing the momentum that you have in this goal, in this vision, in this thing that you're looking to do. And if you can learn how to navigate through those 3 stages, and if you can understand what your responsibility is in all 3 of those stages, amazing things begin to happen. And so let me tell you something. If you got value from this message, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the share button, because I know that there's somebody that you're connected to that can get value from what I just shared. And not only that, I want you to do this. If you haven't already done so, you haven't taken advantage of this, text the word show up, all one word, no space in between, to 954-278-3701. Once again, you're going to text the word show up, no space in between, put the words together, to 954-278-3701. Listen, family, I am so grateful that you took the time to spend to me. Let me give a quick shout out to a couple people. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Miss D, good to see you. Hey, good to see you, Kim. Kim said, I'm selling journals. I'm booking speaking engagements. I'm selling T-shirts, but I tried to plan my own event and asked someone to speak, and they told me no, and it crushed my spirit. Yes, Kim, that's going to happen sometimes. And so you got to understand that that's okay. Just because you got to hear that no, you've got to keep pushing forward, and you got to let that roll right off of your back and keep pushing forward towards your goals and your dreams. Understand that a lot of times you're going to stand on a mountain of no's before you get to that most important yes. That yes that's going to create a breakthrough, that yes that's going to take you through your vision. And the same people that tell you no now will be coming back around, and they'll be asking you, how can we work together? How can we collaborate? And you'll find those same people that told you no before will all of a sudden now be trying to find ways to work with you. Don't worry, your time will come. Whatever you do, don't allow that no to get you to stop moving forward on your goals and your dreams. Many people who have created big dreams and big visions, they have heard very many no's before. And it is okay. Understand that no is part of the process, Kim. So thank you so much for sharing. Hey, Darren, yes, my man. Deneen, yes, give birth to the dream. Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys. Christine, yes, indeed. So I'm telling you all right now, I appreciate you. Yes, yes, yes. Had Natasha on the line. And I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. If you got value from this message, just do me a favor. Make sure that you share this, because I know there's somebody you're connected to that can get value from tonight's message. And so once again, I just want to thank you for tuning in. Join me on the Thursday night Show for Your Life Motivational Live Stream. You can find me same time, same place next week, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday, for the Show Up For Your Life Motivational Live Stream. We go live here on Facebook. We go live also on YouTube. And we also are delivering this via a conference call line. So once again, family, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon.